What's up, you guys? Cody Steck, your Utah realtor, back here with another article breakdown. We're going to be reviewing an article that a local news station put out recently. I think it was about a month ago, and this is an article talking about why home prices here in Salt Lake County are higher than they've ever been. So full disclosure, I have not read this article yet. I just saw it and said, hey, I want to do a breakdown on that and give my thoughts on why, they're either correct or not correct. Now, that being said, I do know already that the home prices here in Salt Lake County are as high as they've ever been. So I'm not doubting what the article is going to say. I'm just going to provide some commentary on why I think it is the way it is, as well as give you guys a couple of reasons on why investing and buying a home here in Utah and Salt Lake County specifically, or anywhere along the Wasatch Front for that matter, is still a super wise investment. So stay tuned for those reasons near the end of the video. And before we jump into this, guys, if you're thinking about relocating here, as always, make sure to get in touch with me. Whether you're looking to rent for just a little while or you want to buy right off the bat, I'm the guy that you want to talk to. I'd like to have a conversation about the type of home and the lifestyle that you're looking for when moving here to Utah. And I have people reaching out to me from all across the country, even internationally, and I absolutely love it. So my information is here on the screen. Call me, text me, shoot me an email. Just get a hold of me any way that you need to with any questions that you might have, and let's have that chat. All right, let's jump into the article. Okay, so right off the bat here, what the article says is why home prices in Salt Lake County are higher than they've ever been. As you can see, this was written December 7th. So it's about a month old at this point, but it's still a very relevant article. So we're gonna break it down here. Single family homes in Salt Lake County are more expensive than ever, a recent report shows. The median home price for a house in the third quarter of 2019 rose to $386,000, according to data from the Salt Lake Board of Realtors, more than $100,000 higher than it was 5 years ago. That has been a huge increase. Homes have been going crazy here. I've got a couple of rental properties that have increased massively in value, and it's a great thing for me, but it has been, it's kind of caught me off guard how quickly the home prices have raised over the last couple of years. I don't think that it will continue at that same rate, but we'll see. The rising prices are indicative of Utah's growing national profile, said Scott Robbins, president of Salt Lake Board of Realtors, as more people from out of state, maybe just like you, choose to make their home in the Beehive State. 10 years ago, Salt Lake City wasn't really part of the discussion about Western cities. Now we are, definitely. But as home prices go up and finding an affordable home in the Wasatch Front becomes more and more difficult for many, especially first-time home buyers, the number of sales have gone down. That is true. Sales have actually gone down just because homes are getting more expensive. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, if you are a first-time home buyer, a couple of different strategies that you may want to take into consideration for buying your first place to help make it more affordable for you. So stay tuned. For many young couples and families looking to buy their first house, Robin said, having a two-income household has become a necessity. Questions of affordability are further complicated when children enter into the picture. It's really changing the dynamics of what people consider when deciding whether to buy a home. The median price for a single-family home in the county in the third quarter of 2014 was $258,000, according to data from the Salt Lake Board of Realtors. That number has shot up steadily since then, sharply increasing even since the start of 2019. In the year's first quarter, the median home price was $355,000. So like I said, just massive increases over the last 5 years. As prices rise in Salt Lake County, Utah County has become a hotspot for home sales, as has Tooele. At the same time, many young people are choosing to stay in Salt Lake City, but as renters rather than buyers. Now, I think that's true. I think that, Utah County and Tooele County and even Davis County, even though it's not mentioned here in the article, they are seeing increases in the amount of home sales because the homes have been still affordable in the last couple of years, and they're still affordable, I would say, compared to Salt Lake County. Now, that is going to add some commute to your travel, and it's going to make it, maybe you're not going to live in the area that you necessarily want to, but those are good options for you still if you want to consider them. Inventory is the lowest it's been in 20 years. Yes, inventory is down, and new home sales are actually, I would say, a little bit struggling just because there's been so many restrictions on building and development that the new home construction hasn't been able to keep up. They're also having a hard time with rising product costs, rising labor costs, and a shortage of labor. This has affected not only young and lower income homebuyers with a limited price range, but also older people looking to downsize but unable to find a smaller house. I've had this problem a couple of times recently, actually, where an older couple says, hey, the kids are moved out, they're looking for a smaller home, but they're hard to find, right? It's hard to find a nicer, high quality home that is a smaller size that would be perfect for an older couple. So that's kind of one of the gaps that we're seeing here in our local market, is there's not older homes that are like that, and they're not really building many new homes that are like that either. While Salt Lake housing may be more expensive than ever, it's still relatively cheap when compared to other cities such as Seattle and San Francisco. Yes, that's true. I'd say our overall cost of living is still cheaper, but it's all relative, right? Robbins noted, and this, of course, is part of the reason for the influx of buyers. Yeah, we've got a lot of people moving from those cities into Utah, which is, for them, they're moving from a smaller house that's worth $600,000, and you come and spend $600,000 here in Salt Lake, you can get a pretty nice house. It's big, it's spacious, good quality, and so that is kind of pushing the market up as well, just because we've got an influx of people who do have a little bit more money that are able to afford those homes. For example, he said he recently worked with a couple moving from LA. They sold their exactly what I just mentioned. They sold their 1,300 square foot house in LA for $1.1 million and traded it for a $700,000 house, nearly 4 times the size in Draper. When you compare Salt Lake to bigger cities, it's a no-brainer. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know that I'd say it's a no-brainer, because everything is relative, right? If you want to buy a home in LA, looking over the past years, of course, yeah, maybe the appreciation has been higher there, or the home has held its value. And so it's all relative to what it looks like in the past and kind of where it's going. A couple of thoughts on this article. I think it's spot on. I think it's exactly what we'd expect from the article. But a couple things that I do want to mention for first-time home buyers, I would highly recommend looking into a term called house hacking, which is basically where you just rent out part of your house to help cover the mortgage on the home. You can do this with roommates. You can do this by buying a duplex and living in one side while renting out the other. You can do it with an Airbnb. You can even put your bedroom on Airbnb or something if you wanted to, but basically just renting out extra space in your home, or even on your property. There's a way to do that as well, to make extra income each month. Now, you do have to be able to qualify for the home in most cases on your own, but this can help immensely with your monthly mortgage. So this is something I'd recommend. I've done it myself numerous times over the past couple of homes that I've lived in, and I'd highly recommend it if you're looking to become, if you're going to be a first-time home buyer, or even if you're not, it's definitely a great strategy that you should look into if you want to lower your monthly mortgage expense. The other thing that I want to recommend, and the other reason that I was kind of getting to earlier here in the video on why I think Salt Lake is such a good opportunity for growth right now and why it's still a wise market to invest and buy homes in, is because of the massive growth that we're seeing in the tech sector, as well as the influx of jobs that are coming here, right? There's so many big name jobs. Like we've got Adobe, we've got Facebook, we've got Amazon, we've got all of these huge companies that are moving, headquarters or even just putting in branches of their companies here in Salt Lake, because we've got a great base of educated workers and it's relatively affordable. When you compare it to San Francisco or LA or Seattle, a lot of those areas are so expensive, and so they're outsourcing, or not outsourcing, but they're moving, some of that work here to Salt Lake where it's a little bit cheaper, so they can get, the same caliber of a worker for a much cheaper price, just because they don't have to pay quite as much here in Salt Lake County. So I think this is one major reason why this is still a great area to invest in. And there's such a shortage of homes currently that even if the market does turn, the demand is still going to be there. There's still going to be people who want to buy homes, who want to rent homes, and are looking for a space, but they may or may not be able to find one. So because of this shortage, I think that kind of gives you a little bit of a hedge against the market turning. And the last reason that I do want to mention as well is that there's a lot of development going on here. There's massive amounts of development that's happening here. We're getting a brand new airport. They're building a new prison so that they can tear down the old Utah State Prison. This is over 600 acres of land in Draper, which is a high quality location that they're going to be developing. This is going to be residential, commercial, retail, office space. They're putting in a ton of stuff there. There's going to be green space, of course, and it's just a great area that's about to be developed over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I think it's just going to continue to push those prices up here, which will give you you know, a little bit more added confidence knowing that your home is going to keep its value and likely increase in value. And if you're looking to invest, that the rents are going to continue to go up, making your investment more secure. So those are the reasons why I think Salt Lake is still such a great area to invest in. If you're thinking about moving here, you want to invest here, whatever the case may be, get in touch with me. I absolutely love it when people reach out. Call me, text me, email me. My information's here on the screen. I'd love to hear from you. Follow me on Instagram at @UtahRealEstate_. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you are thinking about relocating here, subscribe to the channel and click that bell so that you can get notified when I release new videos just like this one. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the content, and we'll see you in the next one.